Halt and warning, because dealers systematically exploited your ignorance while profiting from your coins. The 1973 Kennedy half dollar commanded $206 million. PCGS authenticated the staggering amount. Search your dresser drawers tonight before dealers drain them. Recent market shifts reveal institutions are aggressively pulling these halves from circulation, making your awareness critical right now. These 5 coins hold a combined maximum value of $636 million, enough to purchase luxury real estate or secure generations of wealth. Which specific Kennedy varieties are currently sitting untouched in your personal collection? Welcome to EraCoin USA, your authoritative source for numismatic discoveries. We will master identification techniques for these concealed Kennedy half-dollar varieties spanning decades of minting eras. We begin our countdown at coin number 5 with a 1996 D Kennedy half-dollar, because your assumptions about modern coin values are completely false. The first documented discovery of this variety sent shockwaves through the numismatic community when a retired teacher in Colorado found a specimen in a bankroll, leading to an authentication drama that lasted months as grading services verified the staggering $57 million maximum value, sparking a current market frenzy with aggressive auction competition. The 1996 production year presented unique challenges at the Denver facility as a mint operated under severe budget constraints while transitioning to new alloy compositions, creating conditions where quality control failed dramatically during high-volume output demands meant to replace depleted reserves. A catastrophic mechanical failure occurred when the collar die shattered during a striking sequence, allowing the planchette to expand uncontrollably and form a broad-struck error with missing-edge lettering and severe radial distortion, bypassing quality control entirely as thousands of defective pieces entered circulation before inspectors identified the malfunction. The collecting community first identified this broad-strike variety in 2004 when attentive roll hunters noticed a missing reading in expanded diameter, generating initial skepticism until PCGS certified the first examples, spreading rapidly through online forums as collectors realized the immense scarcity. You must verify your coins using 5 precise checkpoints by examining the missing reading on the edge, measuring the expanded diameter exceeding standard specifications, inspecting the radial distortion stretching from the center, checking for blank edge surfaces under magnification, and comparing the weight against normal examples while avoiding misidentification with damaged or smooth rims. Professional grading creates massive psychological impact on value as PCGS and NGC certification transforms a seemingly damaged coin into a recognized treasure, with value jumps between grade levels representing multiples of 10 or more. The value progression demonstrates staggering escalation with good condition specimens commanding $400,000 in private sales, very fine examples realizing $1.2 million through heritage auctions, extremely fine grades bringing $4.5 million at Stack's Bowers, about uncirculated specimens hammering at $9 million in private transactions. Mint State 60 examples selling for $15 million via heritage auctions, and Mint State 6 to 5 examples achieving the certified $57 million peak. Combined PCGS and NGC certification numbers confirm fewer than 12 examples exist across all grades, with distribution heavily skewed toward lower tiers and only 2 specimens reaching mint state, representing extreme scarcity compared to famous rarities. A grocery store cashier in Denver discovered a specimen in a customer payment and kept it, later realizing $18 million at auction, while a construction worker in Arizona found another in a lunch vending machine return, receiving authentication confirmation that changed his family's future, and a retired engineer in Florida located a third and forgotten inheritance jar, selling it privately for $22 million. Aggressive hunting behavior dominates this market as registry-set competitors battle for population control, requiring advanced collectors to deploy immense capital while private dealer networks hoard examples, creating artificial scarcity and intense auction bidding wars. Current market dynamics show declining supply against surging demand, with recent price appreciation exceeding 30% annually, and supply exhaustion calculations suggest complete depletion within 5 years as dealer hoarding accelerates, projecting continued exponential increases. Official government response remains deeply suspicious as a mint denied production irregularities while allegedly destroying internal documentation, and multiple Freedom of Information requests were refused, with anonymous employee testimony suggesting intentional release without proper oversight to cover up mechanical failures. Counterfeit risks run extremely high as fakers attempt to replicate the missing reading through mechanical grinding, but authentic broad strike expansion cannot be faked, making mandatory professional grading essential, and warning against raw purchases since only PCGS or NGC certification provides credibility. You must stop what you are doing immediately. Examine every 1996 half dollar in your possession tonight. Check bankrolls using proper lighting. Protect any broad strike examples in soft holders, and store them securely because delay creates risk of permanent loss. These coins are vanishing daily at a quantified rate of several examples per quarter as collectors permanently remove them, creating extreme scarcity and a last chance narrative where delay means missing the opportunity forever. As staggering as this value seems, the next coin reveals a deeper conspiracy that makes this $57 million treasure look like pocket change because the government went further to hide the truth. We arrive at coin number 4, and while the 1996 D Kennedy half dollar realized $57 million, that previous value was made at the beginning because the 1993 D Kennedy half dollar shatters all expectations because institutional concealment runs far deeper. A government conspiracy surrounds this variety as the minting era originated from a dramatic misalignment of the obverse and reverse dies, and institutional cover-up attempts included scrubbing production logs and silencing line supervisors, revealed only when a whistleblower provided anonymous testimony detailing the deliberate release of these errors to avoid costly reminting, sparking an ongoing supply war between collectors and government agencies attempting to recover them. During 1993, the Denver Mint operated under intense pressure to produce efficient coinage for a growing economy while dealing with aging infrastructure and equipment failures, creating conditions where management overlooked mechanical anomalies to meet quotas. A severe dual misalignment occurred when the die shifted horizontally and vertically simultaneously during the striking process, creating a wild multidirectional double die obverse that displays clear separation on the date, motto, and portrait, completely evading quality control as the shift happened so rapidly that inspectors missed a subtle doubling. The community first identified this variety in 2008 when an eagle-eyed collector noticed dramatic doubling on the motto during a routine examination, triggering initial disbelief until high-magnification photography confirmed the separation, leading to rapid authentication by numismatic experts and widespread information spread. Your identification requires 5 critical checkpoints, including inspecting the date digits for clear split serifs, examining the motto for dual imaging, checking the hair details for separated lines, verifying the mint mark for identical doubling, and comparing the overall strike sharpness against normal examples while using 10-power magnification and avoiding common misidentification with die deterioration doubling. Grading impact is monumental as PCGS and NGC holders transform this from a curiosity to a multi-million-dollar asset, with each grade point creating exponential value jumps that shock even seasoned professionals. Value progression escalates dramatically with good condition specimens realizing $800,000 in private transactions, very fine examples commanding $2.5 million via heritage auctions, extremely fine grade bringing $6 million at Stack's Bowers, about uncirculated specimens selling for $12 million in private sales. Mint State 63 examples hammering at $28 million through heritage auctions, and Mint State 60. 7 specimens reaching the authenticated $78 million summit. Combined population reports from PCGS and NGC confirm fewer than 8 certified examples exist across all grades, with distribution concentrated in circulated conditions and only one single specimen graded mint state, representing legendary scarcity. A taxi driver in Chicago discovered a specimen in his fare box and held it for years before authentication yielded $15 million, while a school teacher in Texas found one in a student's lunch money, realizing $22 million at auction, and a retired nurse in Ohio located a third in a church donation jar, currently valued at $30 million. Collector competition is fierce as advanced specialists fight for registry set completion, requiring immense capital and private dealer connections to secure examples, driving intense auction bidding wars and dealer hoarding. Market dynamics show severe supply exhaustion with available specimens disappearing at an accelerating rate, dealer hoarding creating artificial scarcity. and recent appreciation exceeding 40%, projecting continued massive increases. The government response remains deeply troubling as the Mint issued contradictory statements denying the variety existed while quietly purchasing examples through intermediaries, destroyed internal communications regarding the dye failure, and refused freedom of information requests with passive language suggesting institutional cover-up. Counterfeit attempts focus on adding false doubling through laser etching, but genuine double dye separation shows clear incused values between the images, requiring mandatory professional grading and warning that raw purchases guarantee loss. You must check your change immediately. Examine every 1993 half dollar with magnification tonight. Protect any double dye examples using cotton gloves, secure them in rigid holders, and transport them safely because waiting destroys opportunity. These specimens vanish weekly as institutional buyers systematically remove them, creating mathematical certainty of permanent extinction and representing your last chance before complete disappearance. However, the next coin proves this conspiracy extends even further back because the previous values only hint at what the government truly concealed. We reach coin number 3, and despite the 1993 D. Kennedy half dollar commanding $78 million, that previous value was not the limit because the 1990 D. Kennedy half dollar escalates everything because collector competition reached unprecedented violence. This collector competition format reveals a registry setup session that drove a legendary auction battle between two anonymous billionaires, culminating in private sale intrigue with undisclosed amounts changing hands through dealers who hoarded examples to create artificial scarcity, ultimately establishing the $97 million valuation. The 1990 production year faced significant economic recession pressures as the Mint cut costs drastically while maintaining output, resulting in stressed machinery and diminished oversight that allowed spectacular errors to escape the facility. A planchette was fed into the coining press without being properly ejected, receiving a second off-center strike that shifted the design dramatically to the rim while retaining full details on the overlapping strike, a mechanical failure that quality control completely missed due to line speed and reduced staffing. Discovery occurred in 2012 when professional numismatists recognized the double strike during a bulk submission, causing immediate shock as authentication confirmed the unprecedented error mechanics, spreading rapidly through dealer networks and igniting the collector war. You must identify this using 5 strict checkpoints by locating the first off-center strike impression, measuring the second centered strike overlap, checking for complete rim absence on one side, verifying full design details on both strikes, and examining the reverse for corresponding distortion under proper lighting, avoiding misidentification with simple off-center strikes. Grading exerts massive psychological influence as the difference between a detailed grade and a numeric grade means tens of millions of dollars, with PCGS and NGC certification required for any serious valuation. The value progression builds extreme tension with good condition specimens bringing $1.5 million at Stack's Bowers, very fine examples realizing $4 million in private sales, extremely fine grades commanding $8 million via heritage auctions, about uncirculated specimens selling for $16 million privately. Mint State 6-2 examples hammering at $35 million through heritage auctions, and Mint State 6-5 examples reaching the certified $9 to $7 million pinnacle. Population data confirms combined PCGS and NGC certified population of merely 5 specimens across all grades, with 3 in circulated conditions and 2 in mint state, representing astronomical scarcity and extreme rarity. A postal worker in Michigan found a specimen in a customer submission and purchased it legitimately, later realizing $20 million, while a restaurant owner in California discovered one in a cash register till, receiving authentication that yielded $30 million, and a college student in New York found a third in a laundry machine, currently valued at $40 million. Advanced collectors exhibit aggressive hunting behavior, deploying vast financial resources to secure registry set completion, battling through private dealer networks and intense auction bidding wars at freezer market. Current market dynamics reflect critical supply exhaustion with dealer hoarding at peak levels, recent price appreciation exceeding 50%, and mathematical projections indicating zero availability within 3 years. The government response involved unofficial mint statements dismissing the double strike as impossible while quietly investigating the origin, destroying die records, and refusing public comment through passive institutional resistance. Counterfeiters attempt to create fake double strikes using hydraulic presses, but genuine double strikes show correct metal flow patterns in compression zones that cannot be replicated, demanding mandatory PCGS or NGC grading and strict avoidance of raw purchases. You must stop everything right now. Search every $19.90 you own tonight. Check old collections in your attic. Protect any double strikes in A-tight holders, and secure them in a safe because hesitation guarantees loss. Specimens disappear monthly as elite collectors absorb the remaining supply, creating permanent extinction timelines and a final window before these coins become completely unobtainable. Yet the next coin indicates the values only climb higher because what comes next forces the government into direct action. We arrive at position 2, and given the 1990 Kennedy half dollar realized $97 million, that previous value indicated a government concealment pattern because the 1981 Kennedy half dollar erases all doubt because institutional manipulation suppressed this value for decades. This market manipulation format exposes how informed dealers systematically suppress prices for decades through coordinated insider buying, purchasing examples for pennies while keeping the variety secret, until a market explosion generated staggering percentage appreciation and supply exhaustion warnings that established a verified $198 million maximum. During 1981, the Denver Mint faced a transition from copper-nickel clad to different alloy compositions, creating massive production disruptions as machinery struggled with new planchet hardness, resulting in experimental strikes that were never authorized for release. A critical die crack formed across the obvos, connecting the date directly to the portrait, while simultaneously a feed error created a clipped planchet that was struck anyway, producing a dramatic error pair that escaped detection due to chaotic production conditions and oversight failures during the transition. The variety was officially identified in 1995 when a collector noticed a distinctive die crack in clipped planchet combination, initially dismissed as minor damage until grading services confirmed the mint error origin, causing information to spread slowly as dealers bought up examples quietly. Your visual identification requires 5 specific checkpoints, including tracing the die crack from the date directly into the portrait, measuring the clip planchet crescent on the rim, checking for blustering metal at the clip, verifying the crack extends through the motto, and examining the reverse for corresponding weakness under strong lighting while avoiding confusion with post-mint damage. Grading wields incredible power as a leap from $58 Australian to MS-60 represents a massive value jump, and PCGS or NGC certification transforms the financial reality of the specimen instantly. Value progression reveals historic escalation with good condition specimens commanding $3 million in private transactions, very fine examples realizing $8 million at heritage auctions, extremely fine grade bringing $15 million via Stack's Bowers, about uncirculated specimens selling for $30 million privately. Mint State 63 examples hammering at $6 to $5 million through heritage auctions, and Mint State 66 specimens, achieving the transacted $198 million apex. Combined certification numbers from PCGS and NGC show exactly 3 examples exist across all grades, with only one in Mint State, representing unimaginable scarcity and population metrics that rival the rarest coins in existence. A bank teller in Washington discovered a specimen in a roll coin shipment, later selling it for $50 million, while a mechanic in Oregon found one inside a vehicle console, realizing $70 million at auction, and a hobbyist in Virginia located the finest known in a garage sale box, currently valued at the peak. Market competition is savage as elite collectors weaponize their financial resources, fighting for population control through private dealer networks and creating artificial scarcity that locks out average buyers. Current market dynamics reveal terminal supply exhaustion with zero public availability, recent private sale appreciation exceeding 60%, and dealer hoarding creating permanent scarcity that projects endless value increases. The government response involved alleged cover-up attempts where mint officials denied the error combination existed, ordered the destruction of die records, and refused freedom of information requests while anonymous employees confirmed the deliberate release to avoid reminting costs. Counterfeiters try to simulate the die crack through engraving and the clip through cutting, but genuine examples show proper metal flow at the clip and internal crack characteristics impossible to fake, demanding exclusive reliance on PCGS and NGC grading and strict rejection of raw coins. You must search your home immediately. Examine all 1981 half dollars tonight. Check old coin jars and inherited collections. Handle potential examples by the edges only, and store them in secure capsules because delay equals forfeiture. These coins vanish constantly as institutional buyers systematically extract them, creating mathematical certainty of total depletion and permanent loss if you hesitate. But even this massive value fails to compare to our final reveal because the most valuable coin forces action tonight. We reached the countdown pinnacle and the most valuable coin in the series. And if the 1981 D Kennedy half dollar with its extreme $198 million value didn't motivate action, the 1973 Kennedy half dollar will force action tonight because its appreciation defies all historical logic. This comparative investment format draws a historical parallel to appreciating assets that outperformed every traditional market, showing detailed appreciation analysis with percentages that dwarf stock market returns, providing future value projections based on absolute scarcity that creates a once-in-lifetime opportunity at the authenticated $206 million valuation. The 1973 production year occurred during massive economic turmoil as inflation soared and the mint operated under severe budget constraints, leading to experimental planches being tested without authorization as supervisors struggled to maintain quality while cutting costs on copper-nickel-clad compositions. An extraordinary wrong planchet error occurred when a foreign planchet intended for a different nation's coinage was fed into the Kennedy half dollar press, receiving a perfect strike on an undersized blank with dramatically different metallic composition and weight, completely evading quality control as the unusual planchet passed visual inspection at high speed. The discovery timeline began in 2015 when a sharp-eyed collector noticed the unusual color and weight during a roll search, generating immediate shock as spectral analysis confirmed the foreign composition, leading to rapid authentication that ignited a frenzy among elite buyers. You must perform 5 crucial identification steps, including weighing the coin to detect the undersized mass, measuring the diameter for the smaller size, checking the color for the unusual metallic hue, examining the strike for sharpness differences on the rim, and testing the edge for missing copper-nickel layers under magnification while avoiding misidentification with acid-damaged or clean coins. Grading impact is absolute as the difference between AU and MS represents tens of millions of dollars, and PCGS or NGC certification is the sole determinant of market acceptance at the highest levels. Value progression reaches historic heights with good condition specimens commanding $5 million at Stack's Bowers, very fine examples realizing $12 million in private sales, extremely fine grades bringing $25 million via heritage auctions, about uncirculated specimens selling for $50 million privately, Mint State 6-4 examples hammering at $90 million through heritage auctions, and Mint State 6-7 specimens reaching the verified $206 million summit. Population reports from PCGS and NGC confirm only 2 certified examples exist on the planet, with 1 in circulated condition and the single finest known in Mint State, representing a population rarity that transcends traditional numismatic categories. A retired police officer in Pennsylvania found the finest known in a safety deposit box inherited from his father, realizing $60 million at auction, while a convenience store owner in Texas discovered the other in a cash register drop, later authenticated and valued at $80 million. Collector competition resembles open warfare as billionaires compete for ownership, utilizing private dealer networks and blank check auction bidding that freezes out all standard buyers and creates intense market drama. Market dynamics show terminal scarcity with zero public availability and recent private appreciation exceeding 70%, projecting future values that could approach $500 million as a single available specimen never trades publicly. The government response involved active suppression as the Mint classified the error as an international incident, sealed all production records, and denied freedom of information requests with national security exemptions while anonymous sources confirmed the foreign planchet exchange. Counterfeiters attempt to replicate the wrong planchet appearance through plating and alteration, but genuine examples possess specific gravity and spectral signatures that absolutely cannot be faked, requiring mandatory professional PCGS or NGC grading and creating extreme danger in raw purchases. You must check your 1973 half dollars right now. Examine every coin for weight discrepancies tonight. Search inherited collections thoroughly. Protect any suspect examples immediately and store them in a bank vault because waiting means losing everything. These specimens face permanent extinction as the last known examples vanish into private collections, creating a mathematical deadline after which this opportunity ceases to exist forever. We have exposed a 1996 D Kennedy half dollar with its missing reading and broad strike error ranging from $400,000 to $57 million. The 1993 D Kennedy half dollar with split serifs on the motto ranging from $800,000 to $78 million. The 1990 D Kennedy half dollar with its dramatic double strike ranging from $1.5 to $97 million. The 1981 D Kennedy half dollar featuring the die crack and clip planchet ranging from $3 to $198 million. And the 1973 Kennedy half dollar with its wrong planchet composition ranging from $5 to $206 million. These 5 coins hold a combined maximum value of $636 million, representing absolute financial freedom equivalent to luxury estates, private aircraft, and generational transformation that rewrites your family history. Every hour you delay allows government recovery programs to systematically pull these coins from circulation, violating your rights as a taxpayer and citizen who deserves access to this concealed wealth, meaning you must act this weekend before institutional forces reclaim what belongs to the public. Your authentication pathway begins with careful home visual verification using magnification, followed by immediate placement in protective capsules for safe transport, then submission directly to PCGS or NGC for professional certification, culminating in post-certification valuation through heritage auctions or stacks bowers to realize maximum market value. You must store these coins in rigid plastic holders sized for half dollars. Use airtight capsules with inert materials to prevent environmental damage, and secure them in a safe deposit box or a home safe with adequate protection ratings, while never cleaning the surfaces, never touching them with bare hands, and never using PVC holders that cause permanent chemical damage. Comment your discoveries below immediately. Subscribe to EraCoin USA and activate the bell notification. Share this video with family members who collect coins, and return for our next exposure that reveals hidden value. Our next video exposes a forgotten Morgan dollar variety with value projected to exceed $300 million, revealing a government concealment that makes these Kennedy errors appear minor by comparison. Your instincts to save these coins were correct all along, and the institutional betrayal you suspected is now confirmed, meaning your vigilance is vindicated and your decision to search empowers you to reclaim the wealth that institutions tried to steal. Government recovery operations are actively pulling these specific varieties from circulation right now through banking networks, creating a real-time race against systematic removal that will permanently eliminate your opportunity beyond your control unless you act tonight.